this is why you buy gold and silver and hope to God it doesn't happen. You prepare for the worst and hope to heck for the best. Silver is the opportunity of a generation. This is a generational value. I've never spoke this way. I have never talked to people as if, it's scary, you got to do something about it. I've always looked at gold and silver as wealth. I always tell the story of the only rule that my dad told me I had to abide by when we started this company as a 19-year-old kid 34 years ago. And that was, I'll buy something every 2 weeks. Okay, fine, I said. And for almost 34 years, I have done that. I've honored that promise. I buy something every 2 weeks. It's my wealth. But for the first time in my life, I truly am saddened and frightened as to what's coming. And I'm not lying. That is not bullshit. That is real. I'm saddened for the world my kids are growing up in and for what the world may look like in just a few short years or less. And I'm very concerned as to what it truly does mean. And I think that with every one of these stupid moves that are being made by our administration, it only is cementing the unification of the majority of the world away from the West. And Kenya, a meaningless country, which in and of itself means nothing, is just another Jenga piece out of the Western hegemony, and it's coming. Yeah, there he is, our leader who has brought together mortal enemies, Saudi Arabia and Iran, in unison against us, because their enemy's enemy is their friend. And so I think that's where we're at. They're building embassies right now in each other's countries. There is now a China brokered railway between Iran and Iraq, the first ever. You're seeing these countries who have been at odds for centuries now realizing this is their one shot. And the only way that it all works is to use commodities to peg to a system that allows every one of these countries equal footing and equal say and equal weighting at the table. And that's what they're doing. And they're doing it little by little by little. And you can see it right if you just look. Even Fox and CNBC are talking about it now. They think they're onto something new. This is what I've been screaming about for 3 years. But what they're missing, even Fox and even CNBC, is what happens when the switch is flipped. What happens when Saudi Arabia and the other 13 OPEC producing countries say, we're now taking a new settlement currency? What happens? Bang, the dollar collapses. It's dumped by the majority of the world who's had to hold it for 50 years to buy oil. And when that happens, everything that we are talking about right now seems like a party. And I hate to say it, but I don't see any way around it. And when you see a fragile banking system, put interest rates up to 15, 18, 20% as the dollar gets dumped globally and watch what happens. And this is a lot more than your 401k. This is a lot more than the insurance policies that you have in insurance companies that are teetering when that happens. But this is the real deal. And this is why you buy gold and silver and hope to God it doesn't happen. You prepare for the worst and hope to heck for the best. Silver is the opportunity of a generation. This is a generational value. A generational value. And I say that to my soul, I mean that. There is not another asset on the planet that people should own other than silver, period. Because not only is it massively undervalued, it is a strategic metal that is being gobbled up by the world, and it is depleting in nature. It is depleting above ground. And now you see the major mints. We're going right back to where we were over the last 3 years. When these mints, you have to realize there are 6 major mints in the world: US, Canada, Austria, Australia, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. 2 of them are now on allocation, and Canada is saying it's going to be months. So what does that mean? The US has been the model of inefficiency. So we're at 2.5 right now. 2.5 out of 6 ain't a good thing, because the world is accumulating, not just people here, and it's getting late in the hour for people who haven't understood this yet.
Yeah, not an ideal set of circumstances out there, that's for sure, because like you described, we have the banking issues going on at the same time. I guess the BRICS and foreign issues seem to almost have been put on the back burner for a little bit, yet still very much out there. And what has happened with the premiums in the last week? Have things come back in at all, or still escalated and going up? What could you share about that?
They have gone up a little bit, especially in Silver Eagles, but I'm very proud to say, and I mean this, In silver, we are the best priced company in the United States, as far as I can tell, anyways, or at the top 0.5%. I haven't raised premiums because I told you on maybe last show or the show before that I have bought everything that wasn't nailed down. We went deep into our line of credit. I bought everything that I could get, and I haven't really raised premiums. Some of them are starting to climb, and they will. When you see this with the RCM and the Austrian Mint, it's the beginning of premiums that will massively go up. And I don't know why they haven't gone up yet. I think they certainly should have, based upon the volume this industry is doing. But it's still a very good time premium wise to buy metals. And I would say by the next time we talk, it would shock me if premiums haven't gone up considerably. One other thing that I promise you, I mean, I've asked everyone, including my U.S. Mint representative, and no one really gives me a good answer as to why the 1 ounce gold eagle has a $50 face value. I know you've asked me that repetitively. The only thing that I can get even close to is that the official price of gold is $42.22 an ounce, and that it is legal tender by the United States, but it's not currency. So it's not like you'll bring that into a bank and get $50. You know, the fact that it has a $50 face value really is meaningless. Let's just hope that there isn't something diabolical behind that in terms of confiscation or, God forbid, something along those lines. I don't think that's the case. Certainly, it would be very difficult for them to pay you $50 justifying the official price of $42.22 when the world price is $2,000 or nearly. But everyone I ask, including people at the Mint, no one can give me a good answer other than the price that is on the books for the U.S. for their gold holdings is $42.22 an ounce. So take that from what you will. I've tried hard to find it. No one seems to have a good answer. I don't have a good answer. But maybe after the reset, maybe it will be $50, and $50 will be an ounce of gold. And who knows? All I can tell you is it doesn't matter. And what matters is that people minimize their exposure to the system and get the hell out of regional banks before you regret it. That's the best I can say.